unless there's at least 4 inches of ice, and that's with the safety.
You gotta love it. Yeah, I know. Oh, wow. That's the biggest one yet. Big jumbo person. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bro Road Show on the ice. We're looking forward to talking about ice. I've been waiting all summer to do it, believe it or not, probably since the last ice season. But we want to show you tips and tricks on how to put more fish on the ice and enjoy your ice fishing experience. And coming from someone like me, ice fishing is absolutely my favorite. And I'm glad you guys had a chance to come out tonight. Are some of you still fall fishing? Or some of you out getting ready to deer hunt? I know this is kind of that cross stuff coming. Thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. Good to see you out here tonight. You have a chance to win prizes, but the thing is, I just want you guys to know what's going on, and it's early. Hey, Tony. So right now, we're still kind of without ice, but before I bring on Sam, my co-host, who is a man of many hats, I just want to tell you guys, I know a lot of you have been checking in, wondering what's new, what's going on, and we're going to cover a little bit of stuff each time. We're going to get really into it deep, some real technical stuff, but we're going to tone it down a little bit. But we want to show you what's going on, and I appreciate you coming out. But before I bring on Sam, I want to thank Chesterburg Toyota for sponsoring the show. Without them, we wouldn't have a show, and all my other sponsors. But thanks. Chesterburg for standing up. They're a Toyota dealership in Bemidji. They're the first one in the nation, and so their service is the best I've ever seen, and I choose them. And if you're looking for a car, or if you just want to say hi, stop in. They have a state-of-the-art place to work on cars. They have a huge showroom. Stop in and say hi at Chesterburg Toyota. Legendary service. So and I gotta show you. We're giving away a Chesterburg hat tonight, mixed in with the Northland stuff. So definitely stay tuned, and we give it away at the end. So get ready. Good to see everybody's fall fishing. So, Brooke, if you could bring in my tournament winner, visual marketing guy, and Northland tackle lure designer co-host. He's wearing a lot of hats, and I'm wearing an Otter one right now. But come on in, Sam. How you doing?
Hey, bro. How's it going?
Hey,
long time no see.
A long time no see. We just did the videos over at Chesterburg today. Isn't it fun over there? Those guys are just a hoot. Just love it. And Sam, are you fall fishing, or are you getting ready for ice? I mean, I want to know.
I did a little bit of fall fishing. Fished one little fun tournament. We got our butts kicked, but we caught a ton of fish. So it's really fun to get out. And then I've been spending a lot of time in the woods doing some bow hunting, and I'm going to continue to pick up the bow through the rifle season here. So best time of the year to be out in the woods. And then besides that, I'm starting to gear up and get ready for ice. I'm thinking about it, looking over some stuff. All the open water stuff is not put away for good. It's organized to be ready to maybe take it out another day if I get a deer here. But definitely ice is on the mind.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I'm kind of there, but I haven't stopped thinking about ice since last year. And I got to show everybody an ice picture because I just can't wait to put ice pictures up here. See this Otter? I have to show you this. I'm with Otter. I'm so lucky to be with them. They're a great company. Everybody loves them, but their hub houses, this new Otter Pro hub house is fantastic. Great big door. Now, in this photo, it doesn't do it justice. That's a giant sled. That's a super wide track, super long track. And when you see this house right here, you go, wow, that looks great. But wait till you see inside. It's slimming. The house is so big. Look at that. It's awesome.
We were out there last spring, and we had me, you, Nick, Charlie was in there, Jace was in there, and there was still room to spare. It's a mansion, that's for sure.
I love it, and you can see how I got everything laid out. I got my Aquaview, I got my Humminbird 360 and a Humminbird Mega Live, and all you do is you switch the cables. You just plug and unplug. You don't have to carry 2 units. That's the cool thing. And I got my Aquaview because we love seeing it. Heather likes seeing the fish grab the bait. And you've seen what this stuff works. I got all my St. Croix rods and everything, but that house is good for me because look, I look tiny in that photo. But I want to say I got a chance to use some new stuff, and I used that Otter house before it came out. Now, look at this, that glass rattle buckshot. I used it last year. It is so good. I caught so many big fish, and I got evidence right there. Look at that. That's a 28-incher, and I got that when I was with you guys.
I remember watching it swim by my lure on Mega Live.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I was embedded with people all around me, and it swam to my hook. So, but it's not just having a glass buckshot. It's how you shake that buckshot. That's really important. But getting back to deer before we get out of the deer mode, because Sam, how'd you do?
It was slow tonight. I slipped out for a couple hours after work and before the show. But actually, a few nights ago, I had a first. I saw a bobcat from the stand. So that was really cool to watch him run around. The magpies were just swooping at him, and he was trying to hunt some mice. So it was kind of fun to see that. So yeah, really cool. But slow tonight. But I have been seeing some more activity in the last few days here. It's definitely getting going. It's
hard when you're into sports. The men and women who love hunting and fishing, it's hard to choose. I love ice fish, but Brooke, her son Mason, hey Brooke, let's show what he's seen. This is really cool. And he was in a stand, so we got to bring in the deer a little bit before we go back to ice, but look what he's seen.
Yes. He was in northern Wisconsin for a long weekend doing some bow hunting and saw albino.
So look at this.
Cool thing.
Cool. Isn't that cool? I'm telling you, and I had to show you now. I got one picture, and everybody's got a phone full, and I just have to show you. I put a camera way. I mean, you go back there and way back, like almost into another state, country, way back there. And I got one. I don't know what to do. It's a real big one, but it's kind of an odd one. I seen him there, and he just standing there, and it's really cool. It really gets me into thinking about deer hunting. So that's my picture of the deer I seen. And all fun aside, that's how much I deer hunt. But anyway, so let's talk about ice. Sam, what's new at Northland? What's going on?
Yeah, well, let's start off the show about talking about the prize pack and a little bit about what's new.
Sounds good.
So tonight we are giving away one of our new kits. So Joey over at Northland's been working really hard to put some really killer ice kits together for you guys that are available on the website only. So tonight we're going to be giving away our Red Lake kit. Brooke, I think you got the picture if you could bring that up. But so it's a kit geared towards Red Lake, but really these are walleye and perch catchers anywhere. We got brobug spoons, coffin spoons, buckshot spoons. There's some of the new glass buckshots in there. We got forage minnow jigs. Comes with a box. Comes with the ruler to make sure you're on those rigs for Red Lake. A little clippers. So it's a one-stop shop. Like I said, it's kind of geared a little bit towards Red Lake. We have a lot of reds, pinks, and golds in there. But those, as you know, those are walleye catchers anywhere. So
absolutely.
That kit, I believe that one's going for $99.99. And then we have 8 other kits, all geared. Some are lure specific. Like we got a new glass buckshot kit that's got all the new glass buckshots. So if you need to stock up on those, current buckshots. So a bunch of awesome kits on the website. Check them out. They're all $99.99 through $119.99. Excuse me. And with that, you're gonna get free shipping on all those kits. So tonight we're giving away this Red Lake kit. Make sure to like, comment, and share the show. We'll be answering some of the questions in the comments. But if you do that, you got a chance to win this kit. And then you don't need to buy the Red Lake one. You just need to buy all the other ones.
Fantastic. I could use that anywhere. And, I notice the box is real thin, so it'll fit into places. And just love it. And you save a lot of money doing that. It's you get a good discount looped in when we're kind of giving the bulk deal there. So it's a really, really awesome little package. My next guest, our next guest coming on, needs no introduction, but we're going to bring him on. Todd Heitkamp, owner of the Dakota Ice Institute. this guy really changed everything. He brought ice to South Dakota. Thanks for coming on.
Bro, it's good to see you, Sam. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
And he has a bait shop. And are you still selling bait? Are people still going out?
They are. We've had a little issue with the dry conditions, that the water levels are a little bit lower. And so trying to launch a boat can be challenging in some areas. And that's definitely affected the number of people going out. But I mean, we've had such great fall weather so far that a lot of people are hitting the lakes yet and still catching some perch and some nice walleyes.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's cool. And then, believe it or not, we're only like a week away, and I'm going to be over by you in a giant arena talking about ice fishing. And we've seen this from the beginning because I've been there since it started in the store, and it's amazing how big this thing has grown. And we haven't missed it. We came close there a few times, but we love coming to your show and supporting it, and it has grown huge. Tell people about it.
Well, we appreciate the support that you have given, bro, as well as the support that Northland Tackle has given through the years. And, we started this 14 years. This will be the 14th annual, and we started this roughly 14 years ago, obviously. And only 50 people showed up, and bro and Heather were two of them. And I honestly sat there and talked it over with my wife, wondering, do we really want to continue and go through all the headaches, so to speak, to offer this again the following year? And thankfully we did, and it has grown from 50 people to last year we had over 8,000 people through the door, and this year we're looking for even more. And again, it's mainly due to the support of yourself, bro, and the support of Northland, as well as the support of our customers that are looking for an ice show that they can go to, that they can see the latest and greatest in the ice fishing gear, and also go to the seminars that we're going to be offering. And bro, you're going to be doing a seminar there as well. And so that people can not only buy the stuff, but learn how to use it as well.
Oh, that's what I love about it. And the people there are just great. And Sam, have you been to that one yet?
I have not, but I tell you what, I've heard lots and lots about it. I know usually we send a few Northland Pro staffers down to help out work it. Sometimes, our reps are going to be there. Sometimes internal sales are going to be there. And to be honest, like when I first got there, I kind of thought it was, like one of the major publicized show where there's multiple retailers in there, but it's really just you putting this thing on. And it's quite impressive the more and more I learned about it. And one of these days I'm going to have to get down there and check it out. But it sounds like an awesome show to be at.
We would love to have you, Sam. And the one thing that makes our show so unique, and Brian and Heather know this, is that it's put on by my family. I own Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls. And so it's not being done by a promoter or anything like that. We buy all the inventory that you see on the floor. And then we invite other people come in to show their, mom and pop type of operations as well. And so you're going to see things that you may not otherwise see at other shows, but also still at the same time, not have to deal with the huge crowds or the parking issues that you may find at, let's say, for instance, St. Paul or anything like that. You're going to find the same type of deals. And, and we're talking about Northland, and we're talking about the glass buckshot rattle spoons. Obviously, that's the new jig everyone's been looking for the past, couple of months once they heard they were coming out. We're going to have a spectacular blowout special, Ice Institute special on those type of lures that they've come to know and love so well from Northland. So you got them as well as the regular buckshots, and then the coffin buckshots and the 3-packs. They're going to be just fantastic for this upcoming year, and also a hot buy at the Ice Institute, November 11th through the 13th. So like Bro said, a little bit more than a week away. A month ago, I had a full head of hair, and you can see what the stress has done to me. I have to have a hat to cover that up. But yeah, only a little week away. And, $7 to get in the door, $15 for the entire weekend. So it's a fantastic bargain, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, and so people, we just had some people asking, where's your bait shop located at? And this is Sioux Falls, but and then the ice arena is where?
Well, the arena, the Sioux Falls Convention Center and Arena, and it's only about I'd say a half mile away from my store in Sioux Falls at 1120 East Benson Road. But if they just Google Sioux Falls Convention Center or the Premier Center, they're going to find it. Sioux Falls is not that big, no. But we have the entire convention center and arena this year, so this is going to be the biggest ice show or ice institute that we've ever had, and hopefully people come out and really, spend a lot of time there and enjoy it, because that's why we put it on. We don't put it on for ourselves. We put it on for the enjoyment of the people that come out to it. Because as you said, a lot of people have that itch for ice fishing and hope they can come out that weekend, 11th through the 13th, and scratch that itch a little bit.
Well, and I noticed too, I mean, you've had it earlier, but this seemed to hit just right because we're in the middle of all these hunting seasons all over the place. And there's people that come from Wisconsin and Nebraska and Iowa and North and Dakota, Minnesota, and even as far away as Colorado and Montana, don't they, for that?
Yeah, we've had pretty much representation of people coming in from almost every state that has ice, to say the least, and so that's the advantage that we have is the timing, but also a disadvantage. A lot of people say, well, why do you always have it right in the middle of, opening deer at Minnesota or opening deer in South Dakota, Nebraska? Well, it comes down to really the availability of the arena and convention center. There's a lot of things going on in that facility. And so I have to pick a time that it works out not only for them, but also for us. And being first up, let's say in the first major ice fishing show in the nation, it works out well because, again, people know you're going to have the product and you're going to have fantastic prices on those products.
I think it's great because if, ice sets got to go up at the stores. If your ice set isn't going up, that's the hunters are going to see your ice fishing stuff. You don't just put it up right when there's ice. You gotta have people see it, and some people want to buy early because it's hard to get stuff. But that's one thing I've learned in retail is everybody wants it. Everybody wants to see ice stuff all year. But how much room does a guy have? But I think it's a perfect time.
And the shows are kind of there's something about traditions of ice shows. The ultimate time to buy ice because it's priced almost like the end of the season would be, but it's right at the beginning of the season and. The deals are crazy. It's tradition to get to an ice show right before the season.
Well, and I think that's exactly right, Sam. I think a lot of people always realize that the ice season is so short, and we cram everything into those couple of months. And so someone will say, "Well, I'm just going to wait until the end of the year and get the clearance sale prices." Well, you don't know if you're going to get that item that you've been looking for. It may be gone by that point in time. So you're going to see those same type of prices as well as at the Institute. So you're going to have it there, and then you're going to have those same types of prices. So again, we don't want people to wait. We want people to grab it while we have it.
And you got seminars. I'm going to be there 3:00 Saturday doing a seminar, but could you name some of the people that are doing seminars?
Yeah, we have Brad Hawthorne. He will also be there. He'll be doing a seminar at 1:00 on Saturday, but we also have a few representatives from Clam. And also, I should say, Brad Hawthorne and Alicia J will be doing a seminar together talking about striker clothing and also various other float suits. So that's the other thing. Scott Merwin's going to be talking about some of the electronics that are going to be out in the market, such as Lowrance, Humminbird. You've already talked about the Mega Live, and we're going to have that there, and the Mega 360. So there's going to be, like I said, you're going to see the product. And if you want to buy it, that's great. But you're also, when you buy it, you're going to want to learn how to use it. And that's what the seminars are going to be there for. And they're going to be, all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, we open the doors at 3:00 and we end at 9. And then Saturday, we're going to go from 9 to 7. And then on Sunday, the 13th, we go from 9 to 3. So a great opportunity to come out and, like I said, scratch that ice fishing itch.
That's
Todd,
fantastic.
We had Jeff asked how the ice stock is looking this year. So we've all learned the supply chain word over the last few years. How, like we said, with ice, you want to buy it when you can. But do you have most items in stock, or are there some hot items we're still waiting on?
No, we have most of the items in stock right now. We just received another shipment from Garmin. That's been one of the things that have been kind of a little bit, in question of whether or not the new live scope was going to be available. We also, Humminbird has been one of those things. Yeah, I know, bro. I'm coming to you now.
Game changer. Humminbird is game changer.
So Humminbird was also one of those concerns as well. It's been that way for the past couple of years, but we got more units in today. So again, from the retailer side of me and looking at my store and having the inventory available for the show, I think we were setting really well compared to, let's say, some of the other stores around us or in the upper Midwest. But I think we're ready to go for the show. And I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed by the availability or the price that they're going to see at the show.
And plus, you're going to have, on this side, Otter. It's not in the middle anymore. And so I can't wait because it's all going to be there. You could actually sit in them. You could try them out. And it's really a cool event. Looking forward to it. Amped, Humminbird, and
Aquaview.
Aquaview is going to be there. We could show you the new 722 and the other stuff, but looking forward to it. Always fun. I love supporting family stuff like this, and I'm glad it's working well for you. And there's going to be a lot of people there that are on the show tonight, and definitely. Could you throw out a website where they could look and find out more about this?
You betcha. We have two different websites. One is my own store website, dakotaangler.com. And so if you're looking for something ice fishing, you can't make it to the show, you can order it from our store there at dakotaangler.com. But if you're looking for some specific information concerning the show, go to dakotaanglericeinstitute.com. And that will get you all the vendor maps as well as a speaker schedule. So you should be set.
And that's a busy town. So if you're going to go there for a few days, start looking for a hotel, motel right now, because that is a happening town. I'm just warning everybody ahead of time. But looking forward to seeing you guys again. Can't wait to be there. And all my friends from that area that I get to see when I'm there. And so definitely check it out. The Ice Institute coming up.
Show the season. Get them while it's hot.
Absolutely.
Right now.
You got it. And thanks for the support, guys, on both of your ends. I appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you next weekend. Okay, thanks a lot. So now coming up next, we got Nick Cox, who's with Razor Augers, and he's got a little bit of a cold, so I'm glad he could come on for just a short amount of time. Hopefully he's got a voice. Let's bring on Nick. Is Nick here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're doing great. Hey, thanks for
Nick.
coming on. I know you don't feel well, and this just shows how hard you work and I was ready just to pretend I was Nick, but look at him. He showed up. This is fantastic.
I've been in bed for the last 2 days trying to kick this cold, trying to get out to deer camp north of Chisholm, Hibbing area on Friday for Saturday morning, and then back to the cities to head out to Sioux Falls next week. So
I got, if you get better, I got some deer in my neck of the woods too. And, but I don't know if you want to shoot something like that, but anyway.
Is that Mr. Bigglesworth?
That's Mr. Bigglesworth.
Nice.
I nicknamed him. But so seriously though, you got some really cool stuff coming out, and you got a surprise to tell everybody.
Yeah. So once again, thanks for having us on the show. We're going to do a giveaway in addition to what Northland is giving away for every single episode. We're going to give away one of each of the Scout augers, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for each episode. We're starting tonight with the 4-inch Razor Scout. And we're also going to include the original Razor bait puck that everybody's aware of out there as well. So
everybody knows that it's the original. Razor is the designer of that, so it's super cool. And check out this new flighting they got.
So this is the new Synthetic Ultra that the buzz is all about. It's a fully synthetic auger, so everybody knows us as a fast cutting auger, but a little bit heavier product just because we've always been metal. So we've gone ahead and we've kind of just changed our game a little bit. Went with some lighter weight synthetic flighting, same curve pro blades on the end. So you're going to get that fast cut, but with a steel blade carriage and a 3-year warranty. The price points are going to be awesome on these. They're going to top out at $189 for an 8-inch. So you're definitely going to want to get your hands on those. And I understand that Todd might have some show specials on these.
That's cool. And one thing I got to tell everybody about Razor, it's not some entity that's who knows where. You guys are available, and you got the best customer service, and so that's why I chose Razor. Sam's run Razor, and he knows about it, but what else you got, Nick?
Couple new things. We've got the synthetic light, which is back here. It's a version of like our Scout, but we've gone ahead and just done the synthetic flighting on there, so it's got 19 inches of flighting. It's great for a full season use, depending on where you're at. But you can go 31 to 42 inches on this auger. That's its actual height, whereas the Synthetic Ultra would be like a 42-inch auger, typical to what else is out there, like a K-drill, pistol bit, etc.
Sure.
We've made some improvements. Everybody knows about the rubber blade guard straps that have been on these for years that we've manufactured and made. We've gone ahead and we've made a slight improvement this year and gone to a bungee style system. So these hold on really well. They're super nice. So that should be a nice improvement. And then we do have some other drill adapters and whatnot and different adapters that depending on what you're looking to run your auger with. Some people like to run them on drill plates, etc. So you can basically pair up any of our augers or other companies' augers to different components that are starting to become more and more popular out there on the ice.
And you also got a 40 volt.
Yep.
And I think that's a guides machine.
Yeah. So the 40 volt traditionally has been available in 6, 8, and 10-inch hole sizes. We also offered a 24 volt for a while. We're kind of in process of making some changes there. But what we've done this year is we have the same 40 volt power head with the 7 amp hour battery, and we're basically including in the box a synthetic light or a synthetic ultra 8-inch bit. So it drops some weight from the unit, makes it a little more easier to use, but we're not increasing price. We're actually keeping the price the same as it was last year with the metal. And so it should be a good hit. We've got those, and those are starting to hit stores now.
That's fantastic. This is good news.
Yes,
Nick,
absolutely.
What about blades? So as a lot of people are prepping for ice, purchased a razor last year. Do you guys have replacement blades? I know mine was still cutting awesome at the end of the season, but how often do you recommend replacing those blades and getting a sharp set on?
That's a good question, Sam. So, I mean, we do offer replacement blades. So all of our augers are supported by blades, no matter what the size is. And you can pair our blades up with Strike Master augers as well, which is pretty neat. On the Scout and the Ultra and a lot of our augers, we have two different styles. I don't know if you can see the serrations in that blade.
Yeah.
And then on this blade, you've got kind of more of a smooth edge, right? Both of them are curved blades, but you can run either or on the curved blade augers. I would say, the biggest thing is to when you want to change your blades. I'm a big fan of, like, we talk about how smooth these drills are, how efficient they are on batteries. The key name to that game is just keeping your blades, sharp and attached. Yep. You want to make sure those bolts are tight every time you go out or before the season. You want to get those blades changed. But if you're in the middle of the season and you're finding yourself having to push down on the auger or give downward pressure, it's just not cutting right, maybe it's hanging up on something, that's a great inclination that you do need to replace blades, and we do have those available through all our retailers.
And really quick, and I know your voice is going, weight on the augers, on the different augers and setups.
Yeah, so, let's start with the Ultra. The Ultra, which is the full-length auger, 40 inches, drills through 36 inches of ice with no extension. The 8-inch is 6 pounds. The 6-inch is 4.3 pounds. Again, a little bit heavier than the others out there, but we've gone ahead and we've maintained a steel blade carriage, which adds weight, awesome, but gives you a lot of durability and gives us the capability to give you guys a 3-year warranty versus a 1-year warranty.
And I used it last year. That thing is an unbelievable driller. I love it. I love all this new stuff, and you guys are coming at it and bringing a new level of stuff. So I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be a fantastic ice season. All the new things really change our ice experience, and that's what we want people to do really well. But I used it. I like how easy it is to interchange bits. Even I use a DeWalt, and I've used Milwaukee. I'm not sponsored by any of them, but I like the built-in grip that can't break off on the DeWalt.
Yeah.
And the Milwaukee drill's super nice, but I've had those things break off, and I'm not putting pressure. Maybe it's someone using my drill, but you can't. The DeWalt goes on a different way, and I think that just interchanging a 4-inch to an 8-inch is perfect. I mean, you could drill small holes and then put the other one on, but I like using a small transducer hole, so we'll have 4 or 6-inch bits. And Sam's seen it. I'll have 2 bits, and it's nothing to carry to a synthetic flighting. So thanks for coming on, Nick.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And so, everybody, I want to tell you, we got a guest coming in tonight. And thanks, Nick, for coming out. He had a nasty cold, but I'm glad we are virtual, so I can't get it because there's a lot of fun. I'm still open water fishing, and I'm playing inside my otter houses and using my hummingbirds and aquaviews. But we have a great guy. He just has a great personality.
Hey, bro, before we bring him on, can we remind everyone about the giveaway real quick, too?
Oh, that's kind of important, yes.
Don't want to forget about that. So, again, with the Razor deal, we're giving away a Northland prize pack. So, like, comment, and share. That'll get you entered into that. The Razor auger, Chesterberg hat, and the Northland tackle new Red Lake kit. So like
And the
comment,
Bro
share to
Roadshow
get
mug.
entered into this giveaway tonight.
And
All right.
Don't
Now
forget
back to you, bro.
don't forget the
Oh, and
mug.
the mug. Yes.
The mug, and then
I forgot
some-
my mug tonight, so that's why I forgot.
oh no,
Don't worry, though.
don't
We got
forget the
plenty
Bro
of
Roadshow mug. So we got a guest coming on tonight, and I'm glad this is Donnie Obert, and he's at Lake of the Woods, Rainy River, and Rainy Lake, and he guides up there. Brooke, bring in Donnie. I'm so glad he could come on. Hey man, how you doing?
Hey, bro. Hey, Sam.
How's it going?
Good to see you.
Good.
I'm glad you could come on. Thanks for doing it. Are you still fishing right now, open water?
Today I hit the Rainy River by myself. I'm my own boss, and my boss treated me to a day of fishing. I have no more book trips, so I believe I'm done guiding. Now I may still get out a little bit and just fun fish or what have you, but my guide season is over unless anybody wants to go tomorrow.
I love that.
My guide season's over.
What were you fishing for today on the river?
Today I was pitching plastics for walleyes.
Okay.
Yep, just working a couple different current seams. I don't actually get the chance to just fun fish by myself very often. I guide an incredible amount. I'm running between 220, 240 trips a year. So a day just came available, and I knew it was going to be beautiful out, and nobody booked it. And I have a million chores that I could be working on here. I live on Rainy Lake. I live right on the lake, so I have a million things I could be doing. But sometimes you just got to go fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the water temperature for you right now?
The water temp on the river was 47 today, 47 something. So it's we're a ways out yet. The lake. I actually haven't been on the lake in probably a week. I've pretty much been fishing the river the last week. So my guess would be low 50s on the lake.
Wow, that's kind of not too bad, but we're still far from freeze up. Still need another 15 degrees for it to drop down. A real, bunch of 3-4 days of cold weather will bring it down really fast because it doesn't seem like it's rising. I had 46, and I've been fishing around the Winnie area and on the deeper, bigger waters, and some are even lower 40s. What do you have, Sam, where you're at?
What did someone tell me today? 47. Like I said, I haven't been out in, I don't know, about a week and a half. Been spending a lot of time deer hunting, but it's high 40s. But previous to this warm up, I had been seeing some skim ice on some of the shallow ponds around town. Even so, like you said, I feel like it's right on that teeter thing. And although it feels like it's early September right now, it's gonna come quick. So
well, and Sam, Donnie is a big supporter of Northland Tackle, and I'm interested in hearing what's your favorite Northland Tackle for ice for Lake of the Woods or wherever you're going.
Ooh, boy, I did really, really well with the coffin spoon last year. Buckshots have always been good. Macho minnows have always been good. That coffin spoon last year, I had a lot of success. Yeah. No, that wouldn't be my first choice of color. I'd be Wonder Bread, but he's digging.
I don't have that one, but
very close. I've done well with that one as well. I like the shape of that one. I like the little metal clacker on there.
It's kind of got the best of both worlds with the macho minnow and the buckshot.
Yes,
you got the rattle, you got the semi-flat design, which allows a little flutter, and then that kicker tail fin on top of the rattle creates a lot of noise and action. Which I'm guessing, up where you are, I'm assuming the water's a little dirtier. It's important to call fish in and get those active fish in to eat.
Yeah, it's stained. It's stained. It's stained water. It's pretty stained, but I'll say, watching live sonar the last couple of years, these fish can hone in on baits a lot further away than you think.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bro will tell you, he's had live. I'll tell you, it seems to me like big fish, they commit from a distance. Little
Mhm.
fish will flitter in. Big fish, boy, you can see their body language on the screen, and when they're coming, I mean, you're like, oh, wham, you know,
Yeah.
bro, am I right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know they're coming. When you see a big fish hit the screen and
Mhm.
they accelerate, that's gonna happen. I think we've been misled on how far away fish can find a bait over the
Yep.
years.
Well, we actually just got a question, bro. On Mega Live, how far can you see out on that?
Oh, I could see fish out close to 100 feet. You know, as far as everything, I really only set it at 60 because I want to know what's right there. I don't want to. And I noticed something while using Mega Live. You got to be careful when you're running to a hole. You got to you got to go slow because they'll move away.
Yep.
I never knew that.
Yep.
Or maybe they thought it was an avalanche or earthquake when I come walking over there, but maybe it's the water moving up and down in the hole when I walk over. But that's why I like, if I'm going to be running around on the ice, I like thicker ice because you won't get a broquake.
Mm-hmm.
But
and
so
a little bit of snow too, not that crunchy. They hear that crunchy ice. You taught me that years ago.
yeah, so I want to ask Donnie. You know, you're an Otter Pro staff. What's your favorite Otter house, or what do you use typically?
So I run. I have several models of flip overs and hubs. I typically only run hubs. So where I guide, there are no plowed roads, and it is wilderness. So for me, I want to have everything on the snowmobile, right? So the Vortex hubs, you know, they pack down so nice, and the oversized cases are so critical that I actually run the same sled as you do, bro. I got a Scandic super wide track 900 Ace, and
Yeah,
the amount of gear that I can carry on that on top of my snowmobile and on top of my Otter Monster Box, I prefer not to pull a sled. I like to have everything on the snowmobile. So Rainy Lake is actually pretty notorious for horrendous slush, right? So
yeah.
anytime you're dragging something, like, I try to explain it like, you know, the truck at the truck pull, you know, the further you go, the more weight accumulates in front of the sled. And I've found that customers don't enjoy paying to dig things out. Customers want fish. So
Yeah.
what I found for me, what works best for me is hubs. I like the lodge size best. 2 people, you know, per house, I think, can fish real comfortably in the lodge. I do have a couple of resorts because you get bigger groups and they all want to sit together. But for me, the way that we run up here, the Vortex hubs are for me are hands down the best option.
I agree with you. I had that photo on earlier, and that's what I was using. And what I like too is I never talked about the Otter Monster Box on the sled. The cool thing is my Humminbird fits right in there, and that's a Helix 9 G4. But and I have 360 and Mega Live hook up to one head. You got to switch them.
Sure.
But I don't need 2 heads. You put your 360 down and you see where they're coming through on your reef, and then you can Mega Live them, and that's what I like. And I can have all this stuff in my Otter hub, but it's nice, and technology has really helped us. And someone just said they love their Pro rod locker box, and it's nice. And I'm using St. Croix now, so I don't want to. I got to change my old ways of bucket.
No more buckets for you.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna have a lot of Scandics, and that kind of goes back to someone was asking what rods. I love the Scandic, not because I'm Scandic, but I am kind of Icelandic. But I just like their feel. They're super light, and they're made right there in Park Falls. And talk about starting from basic ingredients and coming out to super rods. Custom ice, Corey Custom Ice is gonna be good, and the handles, the stripper guides, everything. This is primo top stuff. So when you're looking at rods, ask them where the blank was made, and then go from there, because you know that's tried and true. But so I'm glad to have you on here. One of the things Sam and I were talking about earlier is what are the regs on Rainy and Lake of the Woods? What are the slots for walleyes this coming up season and for sauger?
I actually can't speak to Lake of the Woods. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay.
The bulk of my walleye fishing is actually on Rainy Lake. Rainy Lake Rainy River in the spring and the fall. So Rainy Lake is 4 per person under 18.
Okay,
And then you've always got the, you can have 1 over 26 or
but
whatever.
nobody keeps those really.
Yeah, it's I always give my customers the option. For a lot of people, 26-inch fish is the biggest walleye they're ever gonna catch. So
Yeah,
if they want to keep it, that's cool. I understand. But most people, I'd say over 99% of people put them back. You can get good replicas made now, and then you get to keep one more eater too. So there is a second bonus to that.
absolutely.
How is the walleye and sauger population on Rainy right now? Is it good? In between? What's it looking like?
So I'll say that Rainy is border water, right? So it's about 35% US, 75% Canada. And during COVID, the border was closed. I mean, we could not cross the border. So what happened there is, 40 guides and a million campers and houseboaters and resort folks and cabin owners all got condensed down into the 35%.
Yep.
And I personally believe that the U.S. side took a little bit of a beating. We had, not only did we all get condensed into a smaller area, more and more people were fishing, right? So, I mean, I think that's pretty common knowledge, right? Like record license sales and record gear sales and such. So I think that the U.S. side got beat up pretty good. Now, that being said, 70% of the lake didn't get fished.
Didn't get fished, yeah.
Like did not get touched hardly at all.
Yep.
So, like it's not gloom and doom, right? So we have 70% of our water. Those fish are going to filter back. It's not like it's not like they need passports. They come and go. So it'll rebuild. It's still really good. I mean, there are guides that only work the U.S. side, and they catch a ton of fish and good crappies and good walleyes and big pike and it's I think it took a beating on the U.S., but it is coming back and within a year or two it'll be back to pre-COVID measures, I think.
Sure. Well, and Rainy, go ahead, Sam.
You guide both on the Minnesota side, but you'll also go over into the Canadian side too.
Yeah, I would say that I actually spend most of my time on the Canadian side.
Okay.
Yep. I run in the boat. I run very few trips on the U.S. So for me, there's a lot of confusion. People don't understand what it takes to go fish the Canadian side, right? So they don't. And so if I can drive 5-10 miles and fish a U.S. reef that 100 other boats are going to fish today, that's less fish per boat. I mean, it's simple math, right? Or I can drive 20 miles into Canada and fish a reef nobody's been on for a month.
Yeah.
It's when you look at it, through that perspective, it makes perfect sense to, hey, I'll tell my customers ahead of time, hey, I really would prefer if we fished Canada. If you want to fish in the U.S., that's not a problem. I mean, we spent 2 full years in the U.S., so there's nice fish to be caught on the U.S. side, no doubt. But for me, I like that wilderness aspect, that most of my customers are just fastened that, geez, we haven't seen another boat all day. And if a boat goes by, it's like, oh, there's, Dave, and they're like, that guy, and we're 35 miles from town and you just don't see other boats,
you're almost more likely to see a bear swimming across than another boat.
And we have, and if you follow me on Facebook, there are some videos of bears swimming right by my trolling motor, while we're fishing. So
that's fun. That makes it fun. Well, in the destinations, we had a question about top lakes in the Midwest for walleyes, and definitely Lake of the Woods. I would say we never really push Rainy, but because it's not. I would say it's a secret, but like you said, it gets pressure. But as far as top lakes, it's a really good lake. Lake of the Woods is far known, so I would have to say Lake of the Woods is one of the top in the Midwest, as well as Winnie, Leech, and Mille Lacs has a lot of slot regulations and stuff, but that's a super good lake, just full of perch right now. And what would you guys say are some other top lakes to answer this question, or where have you fished?
Sam, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, wherever the fish are biting.
He cheated.
That's some of my,
That's not fair.
well, that's what I do. You know, like you said, all the big name ones. They're gonna have fish in them. You're gonna have times. You might have a good day, might have a bad day. But what I like to do is I'll fish an area. You know, start with kind of the cores, the bigger lakes. But as you go there, kind of like look what's around. So maybe you go to Mille Lacs and you spend a day on Mille Lacs, but then you have a goal to go hit 2 or 3 of the little lakes around Mille Lacs. You know, there's a ton of good lakes around there, and sometimes those lakes that we're not going to talk about on the show, because they're smaller, have a lot better fishing than some of those destination waters. So, but yeah, you know, Mille Lacs, Lake of the Woods, Rainy, Winnie,
Devil's Lake.
Devil's Lake, anything you've heard of, you're definitely gonna be able to find some fish on. But like you said, as you start making those trips, branch out, maybe try some smaller stuff. So,
yeah, Donnie, do you ever use just a hook with a bait out there? Like I use these when I'm fishing Red Lake,
Sure.
and Gamakatsu and stuff like that. And I really like some of the colored hooks, you know, like the octopus style. But here's some ones that if anybody's into panfish or big crappies and you have to use live bait, some of these micro V gaps are some that I thought I'd show tonight because you don't always see them around, but it's definitely some cool stuff that is good in the, you know, to have with you when you're out fishing and it gets tough. You get tie droppers. Probably don't have to do that on the Canadian side of Rainy, tie droppers, but there's times I use that, kind of something I've seen in the Dakotas 25 years ago, and it's all been. But plain hooks are nice to have with.
hey Donnie, when does your ice season get going? As far as when you start taking trips and clients out there?
So this year is going to be a little different for me. So our daughter inherited a house in Texas. So I'm actually taking January and February off this year from ice fishing. I will be back in March for pike trips. I needed a break this year from guiding. Now I'm still going to do a lot of fun fishing. So every year I would say that I'm probably one of the very first people on Red. So because I don't have a job, you know, once I'm done guiding, I can drive down to Red and go, not quite, and drive home. You know, I don't have to wait for somebody else or a resort or somebody, hey, everybody, come on. So I'm almost always one of the very first people on Red, and I'm pretty low key about it. But I've been out as early as November 13th ice fishing on Red. Now that's probably not going to happen this year because it's 70 degrees today.
Yeah.
So I will fun fish on Red until I can get on Lake of the Woods. So first week of December, then I go to Lake of the Woods and I'll fish there until week before Christmas. So Rainy Lake is a flowage. I don't know. I guess I don't know how much people know about Rainy Lake. It's a flowage and the water is moving. So, you know, there's a lot of dangerous spots on Rainy Lake, and there are a lot of pinch points where I guess the best way to describe it is the same way that sand accelerates in the neck down of
Hourglass.
Of an hourglass. Yeah, I was just testing you there. The same way that sand accelerates through that pinch point, water accelerates through pinch points just like that. And you don't get as much ice. You know, you have very unpredictable and unsafe ice, which is why there's no plowed roads here. There's the national park will normally do one plowed road, and it comes out of the park, and it's, in my opinion, it doesn't go to anywhere I would want to fish. So.
Well, there's pike on some of those spots, but one thing on Rainy, so you definitely want to be with you. People are asking what you're about your guide service. Where can they find you? Where should they look?
Sure. The best place to find me is just send me money at on Venmo at Donald-Obert. That's good enough. Then I'll magically appear in your life.
You just show up with the fishing rods and the bait, right?
Yeah, here we go, folks. No, you can find me on Facebook. It's just Donnie Obert. I've never really needed a website or you can you can find me on TikTok of all places at Captain Donnie Obert or Facebook, or you can email me at guideminnesota@yahoo.com or call me.
Perfect.
It's always a good sign when the guy doesn't have that much, personal marketing out there. That means they're already booking as many trips as they want. So it must mean you're a good guide then.
Well, I do run over 90% return customers. So even like I'm already booking 2024, because people are calling for this summer and there's nothing left. It's, it's booked.
Yeah.
So you do run into some scheduling, some scheduling problems, but I might have a couple days in June. I posted today, 3 of them got taken. I mean, it goes pretty fast, so I don't really spend too much, I just don't see the point in spending the money on a website. I just don't see why, why would I?
Exactly.
There's only one me.
If you got
That's fantastic.
And I don't want to book any other one. I mean, there's one guy I know is going to come to work every day. This guy.
Well, memorable trips. We keep getting this question. What's your most memorable trip on the ice?
Oh boy, on the ice. I had a couple of kids. I had some high schoolers, 4 high school buddies. It was their senior year, and their dad brought them up, and it was tough. It was a tough bite. I mean, I think they were here 2 or 3 days, and no guide ever wants to talk about a tough bite or whatever, but it was tough. It was slow, and they stuck to it, and they stuck to the program, and we were seeing fish. We just couldn't get them to go, and the last day they were here, I'd have to look. I think they landed a 44.25-inch pike, just a behemoth, just super thick. And the battle went on for like over an hour, and these kids are YouTubing and TikTok and everything, they're recording the whole thing. And, our ice gets real thick and it was well over 4 feet, and they're in a skid house with a floor in it, so that pike gets wedged, its mouth open, bottom of the hole. I mean, anybody that's pikefish knows the deal, and so, if I'm laying on the floor and I've got my arm in there, it's fine. I can't reach, I'm got little T-Rex arms. So I got to grab a scooper, a long-handled scooper, and I get teeth yelling at them to keep pressure on the line, and I'm pushing the fish's head down. We ended up landing it, and they said it was the second or third biggest Minnesota catch and release pike or something. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it made the news, for crying out loud. So
that's awesome.
That one, them boys, those boys will remember that trip forever. I mean, they're going to talk about that at their 20-year reunion. So to me, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. I had a question about line. What type of line Bro uses? And I use Sunline Fluoro Ice. And because remember, fluorocarbon has a better sink rate, and we're fishing vertical. And braid is great, but in the clear waters, in some of my waters get a lot of pressure. I use it, and then I'll use this as if I am going to use braid, I'll and go heavier up in the big gator country up there. But and then Aquaview, because everybody asks what I use for the Aquaview, and I have 722. But one of the cameras I use my lion's share of time is the Micro Revolution, because you can just reel it in. And we watch a lot of fish bite, and Heather always has to have a camera with, and we could see them. So those are some good questions. And as far as that one way in the beginning, what kind of what do you use for flotation? Bring a life jacket. If it isn't Coast Guard approved, and then some of them are and some of them aren't, life jacket. And I use, my favorite clothing is I like to use a samurai hoodie, because it goes up on your neck when you're snowmobiling, and it's got the hood. And AFCO makes the best sweaters and stuff like that. But just a few things to mention, and
Well,
just be safe.
Well, we got a few minutes left, Donnie, and it's kind of looping back to fishing memory. So one thing I saw you did on Facebook that was kind of cool is you went through with all your biggest catches of your clients through the year. You had the biggest walleye in your boat, biggest pike, and sturgeon was one of those things. So I know you catch sturgeon open water, but do you ever ice fish for sturgeon on the Rainy River?
So you'd be fascinated how many times I get asked this question. So,
and are you going to take me?
Okay, so I haven't ever attempted it.
Really?
But I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a guy.
I'd imagine it's something like you said, the current and the neck downs on the lake. You're dealing with that on the whole river. It's not something you just want to go out and
yeah. I would say if you want to venture out on the river, boy, I'd be real careful. I would either go with somebody who lives on the river or somebody that has ice fished the river extensively,
or an airboat.
Yeah, or an airboat. Yeah. I'd be real cautious. You know, I do know a guy that lives down closer to the Baudette area that does target sturgeon through the ice, and then I have a real good buddy who is, I mean, we call him the sturgeon surgeon. You know, I mean, this guy is. I get excited about sturgeon. This guy is ridiculous. So he was actually my sturgeon mentor. Is another guide up here by name of Trent Eichner, and he's this guy. He has things dialed to a level that my brain can't compute. He's when he latches onto something, you just let him go and say, "Yeah, just let me know what's working." There's no stopping him. So. Yeah, he's the sturgeon guru. So he's been kind of on me to do it through the ice. So I might get back to you.
Yeah, so if he needs a box of tackle brought up to him to get it to go, you know who to call. Me and Charlie, we'll be there.
We're making connections.
Yep. So Sam, it's giveaway time. Believe it or not, this time flies on this show. It's unbelievable.
I know.
So
it went by quick.
Do we have a winner?
We have a winner. I just see Brooke just put it through to me. It looks like tonight's winner of the prize pack, the auger, the mug, the hat is Ron Reitz. So congratulations.
All right, congratulations, Ron.
Get your shipping information. I'll get that sent off, or the Northland stuff, and then I think Nick will send off
a mug, and you can put whatever you want in it.
Yep.
You know, definitely. And Donnie, it sounds like you lived a charmed life up there on the border, and what a great time. And we're definitely, I can't wait till I can go fishing with you guys. And but right now, I want to tell everybody there's no ice. And no ice anywhere, but we're talking about ice now. I want to get everybody on so everybody can learn about what's new and what's happening in ice. And there's a lot of new things coming out. And there's, one of the things too, before we go, I want to thank Amped Outdoors. Their batteries are awesome, and they have a chart for every electronics out there. And so you put in their stuff, you can see how long it's going to last. Look up Amped online. And I also want to thank Chesterburg Toyota. They're the best in service, best vehicles on earth. And Sam, you were there. They're just great guys, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And so Donnie, you're going to get a chance to do a little bit of fishing here. Are you going to do any hunting before ice?
Yeah. It's I'm traditionally a bow hunter, but I guided so late in the year this year. I think I'll probably just sit with the rifle here a couple of days, and where I'll be sitting, I can see the Rainy River. So my butt will be in the stand, but my heart will be on the water.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you coming out. It's been a great show, and I want to remind people too that if you're in the Winnie area down here, Lake Winnebagosh or Cass Lake area, you can look at Bros Guide Service too. But thanks, Donnie and Obert's Guide Service there up on the border. And I also want to thank Brooke, my producer, and my co-host Sam for being on. Donnie, of course, and my lovely wife, Heather Brosdahl, who's creative and helps me with all this stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't exist. So everybody, have a great week. Good luck hunting. And we're going to hear some stories next Wednesday. Tune in at 7 o'clock for the Bro Roach on the ice. We're going to have all kinds of more tips. Good luck fishing. Thanks, Donnie.
Fish unless there's at least 4 inches of ice, and that's with the safety. You gotta love it. The eyeball.